See, humor can say many things which you cannot say otherwise. This is absolutely a uh, best way of saying things in which you feel embarrassed, isn't it? But this shows that we should understand Sahaja Yoga, that unless and until we are quiet, unless and until we are in thoughtless awareness, we cannot grow. So all these extreme behaviors cannot take you to the center. I must admit that the marriage business sometimes really shocks me the way some people are married to some people. I don't know how it works out, but because very surprisingly somebody appears on the stage and now we have no time to consult 300, what you call the reports. And Yogi tells me it's all right. Then I said, all right. Because for the whole month he's behind me with his file, showing me names of the people who are to be married, this, that, and really it's quite confusing. And there are so many other things I'm doing at the same time. Doesn't matter. Sometimes really it has been a real blunders. I think such horrible blunders. And I suddenly discover them, and then I'm surprised that most of them are the entries at the last minute, you see, and you don't know what you have done. And everybody in such a big mood of marriage. It's impossible to tell them, no, you can't marry now, you haven't given the... Because you see, they just come with such enthusiasm that you don't know what to say. And sometimes you marry somebody at the last minute and they try to escape then. Also, it's dangerous. Of these last minute marriages, I've told that now should be avoided if possible. But some of them turn out to be very wonderful. These last minute marriages, I must tell you this, we can say that, see, this Madhuri and her husband Dev, absolutely last minute. But last then, I must say the last, more last, or absolutely the last, was our Giovanni and Shashibala. When Giovanni came, he was supposed to marry some girl. And this girl didn't turn up. I think I don't know what was the matter, she never turned up. Now he was all ready, you see in Marathi we say Gudgyala bashing badun. Means that thing that you put on your head is bashing. He's so much in a hurry that he tied this on his knees, you see. With his Mangalsutra and all that, he was there. I didn't know what to do. He said, no, mother, where's my wife? I said, now from where to get somebody for him? So this Shashibala, I don't know, I was just thinking that something should happen, otherwise this fellow will collapse. The boys have come now. They are here. Where is my wife? I said, I don't know, she was to come. I don't know why she's not come. No, where is she? So, luckily, the Shashibala, I don't know how she got this idea. And she said, mother, can I get married now? I said, now? Yes, I want to marry now. So I said, you have not told your parents, doesn't matter. In any case, they belong to some group which doesn't want me to marry. I would like to marry someone. So I said, all right, there's one Giovanni here. Would you like to marry him? Yes, of course. And Giovanni was in such an enthusiasm, he said, yes. They are really ideal couples. Both of them are doing very well. And there was no sari available at that time. So I said, all right, I pulled out a sari from my coach. And I said, now use this one. So we have had many spontaneous marriages. Very spontaneous. And they have been extremely beautiful and has not been a problem. And some problems have been where they have been living together for years together, and as soon as they marry, they come to me, mother, can we divorce now? This I can't understand, they can live together for years together. So it's something has to do with your previous lives, I personally think. These marriages have something to do with your previous lives. Maybe you might be wanting to marry somebody, hankering after someone, so that person had to be in your life to learn you a lesson or whatever it is. But I just can't understand, because apparently whatever looks very nice, then sometimes it really becomes very funny. And sometimes also we make mistakes. Like I think Warren was the real culprit. The way he made mistakes, I mean, I can't imagine. Now, Yogi is a hasty man. So, if you find somebody on the stage standing, some girl you see standing there, and he doesn't know what to do, he has to marry her to someone like that. So, like, see, some boys suddenly refuse to marry someone, or some girls do not like some boys. Then you feel that they are in a mood of a marriage, so better get them married to someone like. So there's a mood in Sahaja Yoga I've seen people get into moods and things. But the problem is like this in India, we are built up from childhood that you'll have your husband and this. So we don't consider anybody as our husband or anything. We wait till our parents decide, all right, this is all right. Normally girls never think of any husband or anything. Boys also, I don't think this love affair is there much in India. And then the parents decide for them that this is all right, but we consult horoscopes, you see. But here we consult vibrations, but there we consult horoscopes. And when the horoscopes are all right, you see, like Baba Mama's marriage, I must tell you. Baba, there was a very well-known person to her, and his sister's daughter was there to be married to him. I mean, the proposal came for Baba Mama. Now, Baba Mama was much fatter than this at that time. And he had 6 friends who were even as fat as himself. And we had a huge big car in that they all sat and went to see the girl. You know, that's a custom in India. Now, this girl, poor thing, she saw from the window 6 wrestlers coming down. She got such a fright, she said, which one of them is going to be my husband? So I went up and I told her that such and such, this and this. But she said, all right, this is, if I have to marry this man, I'll marry him. But you just tell me, you stand behind the person whom I have to marry because there are so many looking exactly the same. And that's how the marriage took place. But you see, that was the first time they saw. Then he asked me, do you like the girl? I said, I like her very much. And then I asked her, she just nodded her head, and the marriage was fixed at that moment. So you see, that's the style. We think that our elders are much more wiser and sensible. But in Sahaja Yoga, sometimes, we fail. I think sometimes really we are befooled by some negative things. And sometimes we get girls who are really not at all capable of getting married, or I should say not good, or boys like that. And it's very shocking sometimes what happens. But this is due to the last minute thing. So now I'm going to think about it that only under something circumstances which are absolutely compelling, that you know about someone very well, and if such a person is let down, then it's all right. But mostly if you don't know the person and suddenly they come up, then one should not go with the spontaneous marriage. But you see, marriage is a thing for Indians, is that is just like having a baby in the house, you see, just like that. It's a part and parcel. So they never think that, all right, my wife has come, she's short or she's fair or dark, nothing. Now she's my wife, like your child. Like your child comes in, that's it. So this is what it is, a marriage. This is the wife who has come, the husband is there. Husband is supposed to be a husband, wife is supposed to be a wife. Really, that's a part of the family, we all live together. And husband is supposed to protect the wife, and the wife is supposed to look after the husband and all the family people and everyone. So it is such a training, morning till evening. You see, every day we see, even like Aradhana now, Anupama, my granddaughter, Shonu, all of them. I see them, they are just training themselves, you see, automatically. So that when the marriage takes place, they take to it like a fish takes to water. There's no problem with that. See, but here the thing is that You have an idea that you must fall in love. When you fall 10 times, actually, and you really fall. So the marriage is regarded as some sort of a shopping business. That's how it fails also. Once you are married, just accept this is the part of your life, it's from your destiny, it's your life, previous life's things. It's just accept the marriage, work it out. And we don't even work out marriage, they just work out. We never work, but many people say, I'll make it work. I mean, how? Is it a machine or something that to make it work? It's so artificial. So that's how if you take to marriage in that way. A married couple has to know in Sahaja Yoga that they are married because they are Sahaja Yogis. And they have to have children who are going to be great saints and Sahaja Yogis and great people. And then they have to develop their relationship in Sahaja Yoga in a proper way. Now, as I see, it's correct that you say you are left-sided, you are right-sided, you are this, you are that. But you see, in Sahaja Yoga, you become actually the person who is the Vaishnava, is the one who is in the center. Vishnu's path. You are neither left nor right. You are on Sri Krishna's path. So, how can you remain left or right? If you are left or right, then you are no more Sahaja.